One of my, I guess, favorite business advisors and gurus. I'm going to be doing a whole course about Peter Drucker, but I thought about this Drucker quote as I was thinking about this even smart people do dumb things quote by Keith Cunningham. So Peter Drucker says there's nothing worse than doing the wrong thing well. Boom. I mean, how many raise your hand and say aye if you're guilty of that at all? Aye. Um, I was driving. I'm obviously not in my home office, so I apologize for the shades and the different background and all these sorts of things. I am away from home, and I wanted to keep up with this and make sure I kept with my commitment to put out there these events. And I was thinking on my car ride about this quote from Keith Cunningham. It dovetailed with the Drucker quote. Keith Cunningham is this really, really bright guy. He's entertaining guy. You can certainly look him up, YouTube. He's written some great books. One of them is called The Road Less Stupid. Keith has lost and made hundreds of millions of dollars again and again and again. He's a great communicator, really smart guy. And uh, he has a concept called thinking time. And I had a lot of thinking time on the car ride down here. And clarity is king, Keith says, and he shares with us all about himself, and I'm guilty as charged too. Even smart people do dumb things. But what he really was, what I really want to talk about today is thinking time. He talked about quite a bit in The Road Less Stupid. And he says, look, well, let me back up. When we started this series, one of the things I shared with you was some questions that were asked to me by the coolest person I ever met, Dr. Edith Egger. And questions are four questions. What do you want to happen? Why do you want them to happen? What's the next step you're going to take to make them happen? And when would you take that step? Those are some really good questions. Keith says, look, for all of us who are stuck, um, we get stuck not because we don't know the right answer, but because we ask lousy questions. So when you ask yourself what you want to happen, you really better drill down deep on it and make sure. You have to ask better questions. If you want to lose weight, the right question is, should I use a jump rope or a treadmill? That's a tactical answer, and we have to dig down deeper. Tactical questions give you tactical answers. What we really want to do is what must happen to lose the weight? It's not get a jump rope. It's not get a treadmill. It's more deeper. It's more systemic. Um, the real reason, the real problem that keeps people from getting stuff done now is the wrong question. And again, what outcome are you trying to achieve? Life, career. I spoke the other day about the startup of you. You really want to change your life and change the way you're looking at things. You have to really drill down, not just because I have a bad boss or whatever it is. You want to drill down much deeper, okay, and ask yourself, how might I what? How might I improve my situation? How might I lose weight? How might I improve the quality of my work or my parenting or whatever? It's not about tactics. How might I is a really powerful question. And look, we all do dumb things. I did this with Keith's urging. I'm reading it right here. He says, three of the dumbest things I've ever done are when I X, when I Y, when I Z. One of the dumbest things I've done recently, I've got a speeding ticket, driving much too fast, coming home from another trip. Maybe it's not one of the dumbest things, but it comes to mind recently. So the idea is to spend some time thinking about the original four questions we talked about. What do you want to happen? Really, what do you want to happen? And then ask yourself why. What's the why? Why do you want it to happen? What's the most compelling thing that really makes you think about why it is? The reason smart people do dumb things is they don't drill down far enough. So I'm recommending to you in a kind of an abstract way. Maybe it's not on a car ride like mine was, but set aside some time each day, 30 minutes with a journal, 45 minutes, thinking time. What do you want to happen? Could be for that day. Why do you want it to happen? What's the next best step you could take to make it happen? And when will you take that step? That's a good template for thinking time. But again, guilty as charged. If we don't do it every day, we won't do it. And then all of a sudden we get caught in what Dr. Covey called the thick of thin things, and we're drawn with the wind. So a little bit of an abstract rant here today, but if nothing else, walk away from this to understand the thinking time, you thinking, asking yourself the right questions, not tactical questions. It's not about buying a jump rope or which pill to take. It's more systemic. It's more systematic. Again, how might I lose the weight? Okay. How might I improve the situation? So thinking time is valuable. I urge you to use a journal. Start with some fun stuff like what's the last 3 dumb things I've done. Give yourself a break. We're all human. And again, I'll probably be in this setting for a little bit, so I hope it's translating well. I wish you all a great and safe day, and thank you for spending some time. Stay safe.